Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hot News. I'm Brett. I'm going to guide you through this week's tech news. So why don't you sit back, buckle up, and enjoy today's video sponsor, and then we'll get into Navi 31.
Hey friends, you might be wondering why I'm on a table. Well, it's because we partnered with Vessi for today's video, and I wanted to show off my shoes, as well as my squatting ability. Or, I don't know if this is technically a squat, but I am wearing some of the best shoes that I've ever owned. These are Vessi Cityscape sneakers, and it's not just that they're easy to put on and off. They're one of the world's first waterproof, breathable knit shoes. My goodness, my friends. You can take these wherever you want. I use these for my everyday. I've had these for weeks, and I absolutely love them. But not only do I have their Cityscape sneakers, I also have their everyday slip-ons for when I'm just feeling really lazy, don't even want to tie my shoes. I have it, and then I'm waterproof for all the situations that you need to be waterproof for. You know, you got the typical ones like being out in the rain and then your socks aren't soaked, but then you also have other scenarios that might happen. Like, let's say you need to wash your shoes because they're dirty. Well, guess what? After that, you can wash the dishes with them and you still have a very clean inside on your shoe. Oh, what's that? You don't like getting naked in the shower? I'll never get naked in your shower. And with my Vessi shoes, I could just wear them in the shower. Obviously, we have the regular ways of making sure that our feet don't get wet when it's raining outside, but Vessi makes sure that your feet stay dry all of the time. And you can get these breathable, knit, waterproof shoes for only $95 by using the link in the video description, vessifootwear.com/UFD Tech, but they also have their Give Back program. Since April 15th, they've been giving $1,000 away every single day to support 10 heroes in various different forms in the community. And if you purchase some of their shoes on their website, you can do that if you choose to pay full price. Otherwise, you can save $40 and get them for only $95. Check the link in the video description. Big thanks to Vessi for partnering with us for this video.
So yeah, I said Navi 31. Did you hear me correctly? I think you did, because while we are waiting on Big Navi, which we're expecting to be Navi 21, well, my friends, while we can speculate about how many teraflops that's supposed to have and whether or not it's going to beat NVIDIA, well, we've got Navi 31 details now appearing to get us hyped up for the next gen of AMD GPUs, with AMD Navi 31 being spotted in Apple's new macOS 11 Big Sur. What we find there is that there are now strings referring to not only Navi 21, but also Navi 31. And according to some speculation by WCCF Tech, which again is just speculation, this could mean that AMD might be preparing to launch a refresh, a next gen of their RDNA cards, even much sooner than we would anticipate based on how long it's taken for us to get Big Navi. So this is a possibility, but it's not the only little bit of AMD goodness that was found in Apple source code. Also finding some AMD Cezanne APU codes. This is what we're expecting to be the Zen 3 CPU with RDNA 2 graphics, which could mean ray tracing on integrated GPUs, which would be mind-blowing. It could actually, these could be the APUs that would put us on par with the PlayStation 5. Maybe. No, I'm expecting way too much out of this. However, it would be something very similar, an SoC that has everything that the next gen consoles are supposed to have, where they're codenamed Van Gogh. So that's what we're currently expecting out of them. But macOS revealing some details about future plans that AMD has could mean that they're coming sooner, or it could just mean that Apple and AMD are working closely, even with Apple's recent booting of Intel out of the chair. They don't want them for the CPUs, but they'll still continue to work very closely with AMD for the GPUs. But speaking of GPUs and AMD and all of that good stuff, let's talk about the Series X for a little bit, because one of the features that the PlayStation 5 is going to have that the Series X won't is variable frequency, which allows the PlayStation 5 to hit 10.28 teraflops, where normally it should probably be around the 9.5 teraflop region on regular clocks. It dynamically boosts. Well, in an interview, the director of program management for the Xbox Series X came out and said that they could have done that, but it's harder to develop for, and we're not really into boasting higher numbers, so we didn't need to. You sure it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you already had higher numbers and therefore you didn't need to? Sure, it's harder to develop for, but we've been doing that for PC stuff for ages. So how does a boost clock make things harder to develop for? You even made it so that your VRAM on the freaking console is in a weird situation. You don't have one contiguous speed. You get fast RAM and then you get slow RAM. You're telling me that's not harder to develop for than the PlayStation 5's just solid across the board 400 gigabytes per second? I'm not necessarily sure that's true. Also, he suggested that with the Xbox Series X, while the PlayStation 5 might have some raw spec speed increases on the SSD, SSD that the Series X doesn't have, that's not the entire story. So just nobody's talking about the Series X being fast. Why can't you guys love what we're doing here? Guys, why does all the game developers talk about how good the PlayStation 5 is and nobody talks about us? That just might be my interpretation of the event. That's how I feel these interviews come across. Xbox and Microsoft directly has to talk about their console, whereas Sony has game developers talking about their console. I don't know if that's just a foreshadowing of what's to come. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I don't know. But another thing that Microsoft does have an advantage for over Sony is the game optimization for the Series X. In fact, listing several games that are going to be optimized for Series X, which means that once you load those games into your Series X, they will automatically run at either a higher resolution or a higher refresh rate without you needing to tweak anything. This isn't the same as it being backwards compatible. This is actually giving you some extra performance than you would otherwise get on an Xbox One X. Microsoft seems to be putting the initiative on themselves to do this, where Sony has left it up to the game developers to kind of make this happen. But while the Series X might have some stuff that everybody wants and has some faster things here and there, you're not going to be able to buy one at a Microsoft store. No, that would be foolish if you thought you could do that, because they are closing all of their stores permanently, not just due to the coronavirus and the pandemic where they shut them down because of that, but no, they're gone. They're just no more Microsoft stores. So cool. They always seem like a knee-jerk reaction to Apple stores in the first place, so I'm not sure why we needed those. When is Microsoft going to do something that doesn't feel like a response to somebody else? Come on. Like, Mixer just shut down, the Microsoft store is shutting down, the Series X is just kind of a bad response to Sony, and then the Zune was awful. What else is there for them to continuously rip off and then give up on? Maybe handheld gaming? Because Nintendo Switch has been out of stock for a while, in case you haven't heard. Well, according to a representative from Nintendo, they were not able to manufacture the Switch as well as they would have wanted in May, with them being able to recover some of that in June, and they're expecting that everything should normalize from here on out. So if you've been dying to get your hands on a Nintendo Switch, don't spend hundreds of extra dollars on it on eBay or wherever. Just wait a little bit and you should be able to get your Switch sometime soon. And you might want to dust off your PlayStation 2 out of the closet, because there's a new exploit that allows you to play homebrew games without modifying the console, just by loading in a DVD. This is actually using a DVD exploit that's built into apparently most of the PlayStations with DVD drives. So you can check out the video that we'll link in the video description, or the card right up there, where FreeDVDBoot allows you to play homebrew games. Obviously, a lot of people might use this for pirating, but there are other legitimate homebrew options out there. So in case you care, there it is. And in case you care about Stadia, which two of you, okay? The two of you who have been eyeing a Stadia controller, it's now getting its first sale being 10% off. $62.10 if you're in the US. You're welcome. And that's what CD Projekt Red has been saying to us about Cyberpunk 2077. You're waiting, but you're welcome. Well, somebody went through the effort of comparing the 2018 trailer to the 2020 trailer. We'll leave that link in the video description. Suffice it to say that the game does absolutely look better in the last 2 years, kind of like they remastered their own game. I think the biggest improvement that I can just naturally see is environmentals. The environment and the environmental lighting looks absolutely stunning in the latest version, whereas it was just normal kind of pre-baked lights in the previous one. So ray tracing seems like it's doing some good, or they just figured out a way to do it without ray tracing. Either way, I don't care. And you might want to care about where your butt's going to be placed while you're playing Cyberpunk 2077. Secret Labs announcing their Cyberpunk Chair. You can look at it right here. Elevate your Cyberpunk 2077 experience in case you want that. And in case you want Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can now apparently get it with upcoming Ryzen 3000 processors. I mean, the game's upcoming. The Ryzen processors are already out, except for there are some Ryzen processors that are coming out soon that you can get it with. It's a whole backwards way of saying what I'm trying to say, which is qualifying AMD Ryzen desktop processors will get you Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There you go. And $60 will get you Crash 4, which a lot of people thought was going to be pretty gosh dang expensive for a platformer based on a PS1 mascot. Well, it turns out that it's going to be triple the size of any of the original ones, with it coming in at over 100 levels. It's not yet known how well designed those levels are, whether or not the game's going to be worth that $60 price tag, but they are indeed giving us more for the money. The original count of the first 3 games was only 85 levels in total, so they're giving you more than that with the next Crash 4 game, in case you care. And id Software giving you more with Doom Eternal, in case you care about that, which many of you kind of checked out with the de novo stuff, but they repealed that. Anyways, they are now offering a classic rendering mode so that you can get the game to look like it was when you played it way back when. So there's a pixelated classic rendering mode. We'll leave a link in the video description for you to check that out. Somebody did a video checking all of the new render modes. It looks like a lot of them are just like gimmick overlays. The classic render one actually looks pretty dope. Now let's switch from dope to nope, which is what Twitch has said to Dr. Disrespect. This is some big industry news. There's not actually a lot known as to what's going on as of recording right now. There might be some more information by the time this episode goes live. So just hold all of this with bated, waited anticipation breath. That's what I'm trying to say. Twitch banned Dr. Disrespect for violation of community guidelines. They refunded all of his subs, and he's gone from the platform at this point. In an interview with PC Gamer, Twitch basically said that it is their process to not discuss any of the conditions that happened with violations of their community guidelines, and that they would not be announcing anything like that. And then Dr. Disrespect's wife posted on Instagram that she was thankful for all of the support during this time, and then Dr. Disrespect tweeting out himself that Twitch has not notified me on the specific reason behind their decision. Doesn't mean he doesn't know the specific reason. It just means that Twitch hasn't officially notified him. He might be aware of what's happening. There's a ton of speculation out there on the internet, from sexual harassment allegations to them Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, and Ninja starting a rival streaming platform to some sort of money laundering scheme. There is not enough known to actually say what has happened, but I can tell you that a large portion of the internet has been waiting the entire weekend to find out what's going on with the situation, and all that has been coming out is more ambiguity, more cloudiness and fogginess regarding the situation. What do you think about this? Some people also saying that this could just be a giant PR stunt for Twitch, and the reason nobody's talking about it is so that there's nothing actually there, and then it's going to come out as like some big, aha, we got you, which highly doubt that that's the case. And I highly doubt that I'll ever see this type of success here on YouTube talking about tech news. And that is because there's a new record for YouTube 24-hour views set by the K-pop group Blackpink. Actually, I don't even know if it's, are you supposed to call them a K-pop group? I don't even know what Blackpink is. This is breaking the record from BTS last year. They hit 82.4 million views in the first 24 hours, now sitting on 131 as of recording this video. Just absolutely destroying everything that is success. I don't know how to even do that. But you watch YouTube on your phones, don't you? Don't you guys have phones? And if you have an Android phone, there's a new feature coming your way where Google's phone app will now tell you why businesses are calling. If businesses decide to go through the verified caller program with Google, they can not only have their name show up while they're phoning you, but also state the reason why they're calling you, such as your food delivery or your internet installation, stuff like that. Just more information before you ever pick up the phone, which I think is great because I hate picking up the phone at any point. But the opposite of hate is love, and I absolutely love the show The Boys over on Amazon. It is way more gory than I typically appreciate, but the storytelling of a more realistic superhero scenario based in corporate America just absolutely floored me with how well executed it was. Anyways, we got the announcement that season 2 of The Boys will be returning September 4th over on Amazon Prime Video. It's going to launch with 3 episodes at first, and then the last 5 episodes are going to be released every week. They said that there's just too much chaos going on, and they want to give you time to process it before you get to the next episode. I'm totally fine with that. September 4th, and then by the time the year is over, I'll have been able to see it. It's really gruesome. It's really dark. And it's just really well executed. It's kind of a nice twist on the modern superhero tale, which I find is great. Have you seen Boys? Let me know down below in the comments. And let me know if you like this episode of Hot News down there as well. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to go to VessiFootwear.com/UFD Tech to check out Vessi shoes. They're amazing. I love them. I wear them every single day, multiple times a day. I do not choose to wear other shoes as my daily drivers now that I've been on Vessi. And I don't have to worry about the torrential downpours that happen in Florida. It just it starts raining out of nowhere, and guess what?
I'm prepared with my Vessi shoes. I could even stick my hand in here, wash the dishes, and I'll be good.
And that's gonna be it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode of Hot News. Big thanks to everybody who supports us over on Patreon and Floatplane. You made it so that we can continue to make Hot News and make all of our tech videos, even in all these uncertain times, especially with YouTube taking us down 2 weeks ago. Been much appreciated. So thank you again, Patreon, Floatplane supporters. We'll see you in the next episode of Hot News. Goodbye.